2 miles from the east coast in North Suffolk. Perhaps not the ideal spot for an exotic garden, really. But the word you don't want to hear when you're in this position is wind straight from Siberia. That's the phrase that sort of it fills you with dread, because there's not much between me and the east coast. When I arrived here 8 years ago, it was what I call plant-free zone. There was only this sort of much maligned leylandi, which is a godsend when you've got a ridiculous easterly wind at the other side of it. We've also got quite a nice 100-years-old yew hedge at the front, which keeps out the north wind. As a child, we lived in quite a rough part of West London, and there was no greenery or anything to be seen. We were taken on holiday to Donegal and Cork in Ireland, and I think the drama of that time, seeing the running streams in Ireland was something that stayed with me. I wanted to create a fantasy garden, really. Water and big leaves, and it wasn't going to be practicality. This is a bit like an amphitheatre effect, where we've got this massive banks of gunnera here. A lot of people say you can't plant gunnera in dry conditions, but they're quite big and they've done quite well there, I think. When you see the red banana, you can't help but want to grow it. And they grow so fast, and the leaves, when they're wet, just glistening, and the water sort of running down them, and the sun comes on them. I mean, they're fantastic plants. They're quite easy to overwinter. You can just chuck into a wooden shed and actually just leave it literally with its roots out, as long as it's somewhere dry and around zero, it will survive. And the ricinus really are sort of annuals, these giant purple leaf things, and they will actually just sort of die off. We do actually take the seed from them, and we grow the seed for next year. The echiums, I only bought 2 plants, and then once you get them to overwinter, set seed, then you've got them for sort of life, as it were, providing the winters aren't too bad. Plants have come here from little old ladies outside a charity shop and some of the best nurseries in Britain. To me, I'd think I'd fall asleep if I had to go into a normal nursery and just pick a load of plants out and bring them back. I like the search and the thrill of the chase. Half the trackies in the garden flower every year. We get seed from them. They do a lot. But Trachycarpus are the ultimate exotic plant, I think. They've got the hairy trunk, they've got the big leaves, they've got the sort of like from another planet look about them. I think people think the exotic garden exists in May, June, July and August, and it sort of is dead the rest of the year, and nothing could be further from the truth. Bamboos and yuccas, phormiums, cordylines, these are all evergreen plants. Sometimes in exotic gardening we forget about your normal plants like begonia. I mean, this thing's tough as our boots, evergreen foliage 12 months of the year. So in contrast to the begonia, we've got this begonia, which is a glorified houseplant, really. I mean, this one is the hardiest of the type, and it's got fantastic underside of the leaf, and it's really has sort of naturalised itself in this rock. I mean, this rock, don't forget, is only 3.5 years old, and it's already got all the lichens on and things like that. One of my favourite plants is the Arondodonax here, which is a very dramatic plant. A lot of people look at it and think it's a bamboo, but it's actually a giant Spanish reed. I mean, I'm 6'6", and it's nice to have plants that really sort of tower over you, and these things can grow this much in one season. And then in the winter, you just have to tidy them up a bit, and you have to pull any brown bit that you see off. I sometimes wonder whether I would be into gardening if it wasn't for exotics, but I think I probably would. But it's certainly the fancy outside things. I suppose in a way it's more sort of Jurassic Park than Gardener's Question Time sort of thing. It's the drama, losing yourself in the foliage, hearing the water, sun coming through the leaves, the thick canes coming out of the ground. You can't get more dramatic, I don't think, than the exotic garden.